So in your senior year, they usually do like a spring break.
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously, I can't tell my mom I want to go to spring break. Spring break was in Mexico.
And like, what is spring break other
What
than
is
just
spring break?
like
And then if she asks my brother what spring break is,
rape?
literally, that's rape. Oh my God, I'm dying. Okay. So, but I really wanted to go.
Okay.
Wait, is spring break like a thing done by the school?
No, it's like basically we're a bunch of like college kids and like 18-year-olds. Basically, they just go and party.
Okay.
Okay, and it's usually Mexico. Either what's that place called? Cancun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Right. All right. Cool.
So there's the spring break coming up, and my friend Amber was like, "We should go." Now Amber.
Oh, Amber.
We've
grown to love that Amber.
So I was like, "Let's do it!" Like, and she's like, "How are you gonna get away with this?" School trip, because now Richfield School does. I need to stop saying their name. Actually, so
We can bleep them.
The high school I went to, they would organize international trips.
Okay.
So they have organized trips to Costa Rica with the Spanish class. Oh my God, I just thought of another story. Actually, geez.
Nice.
Gosh, that year was really not a good year.
Sounds
but
like
anyways.
a great year.
So they would organize like Washington D.C. trips and Costa Rica trips, and so they have, and even trips to Spain. So
Great school.
yeah, so they would. So I was like, okay, this year, according to me, that school's organizing a trip to Mexico.
Okay.
Like, how hard can it be?
Yeah.
You know, if you really think about it. So I thought about it. And I was like, first things first, what we need to do is we need to get a letter out to my house from the school, envelope, letterhead, all that.
And open it in front of your mom.
This is
Everything.
a lot of great, like, real world experience. You know what I mean? Like
I hope to
doing
God.
letterheads, writing out professional letters. Like, this experience you get, like, when you start working in your 20s and stuff, and she's doing it in high school. Okay. So,
No, she's in college, right?
No, I'm a
This is high
senior
school?
in high school.
Oh my God. Okay.
So I need help. So I ask my friends. I'm going to distract the admin lady.
Okay.
I need you guys to go in and get a couple of envelopes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's a full-on operation.
Yep. And a couple of like the letterhead like papers. So they were really good friends. Thank you, girls. So they did do that. I distracted the admin lady.
Nice.
Amber went in. She got the envelope. Amber, and she got it and came back and gave it to me. I constructed a letter. It was perfect. It was beautiful. It was literally like you couldn't tell a difference. And I signed it with the Spanish teacher's name.
Okay. How far in advance is this? Like what? Like spring break is end of March.
Correct.
April? How ahead of time do you need to plan this kind of
So
sophisticated lie?
this letter was sent out 3 months prior.
Holy crap! That's huge. Okay. I thought it was gonna be like the day before, like the weekend. Okay, so you're really like this is really like what a school would do.
Yeah. What a school would do.
I guess the school announced that there's a trip, and you're like, I want to go to this trip, which is 3 months later. The only way for me to do it is to do.
No, but the school doesn't announce spring break. The kids just go.
Yeah, it's not a school activity.
Oh, right, I keep
At
forgetting
all.
that. Right, yes.
It's the opposite of
They do not encourage spring break.
Yeah, like you're not allowed.
So I signed it with the Spanish teacher's name and registered mail. Sent it to my house to my mom.
Okay.
Because it can't go to Najwa.
Yeah.
It's got to go to the parent of
Nice.
Najwa.
So your mom opened.
So my mom opened it.
Nice.
She had to go to the mailbox, to the post office, show her ID. She, the whole.
It's legit.
It's legit.
I love it.
Right? So this is when I was telling you, like, then you have to take preventative measures so you don't get caught. So this was a preventative measure.
Pre-planning, yeah.
Pre-plan.
3
Like,
months.
it's legit.
This This is a project.
So she was like, I don't know. And I'm like, oh, Mama, please, can I go?
School trip.
It's a school trip. And because I'm taking Spanish. And she was like, okay.
That's so nice of your mom.
Because it's with school.
Yeah.
So I was like, yes. And she's paying for it. Because I sure as hell don't have money. Like, I don't have $1,500. I don't know how much it costs. But it was a lot of money. I don't have money.
Yeah.
So my mom was like, okay, you can go.
Nice.
Somewhere between this letter and a month before the trip, Mama got suspicious.
Okay.
Why? I don't know.
Because she has psychic powers.
She called the school.
Oh God.
She called the school?
Oh, good Lord.
That's probably why.
But she never calls the school. I didn't anticipate this. She called the school. She asked them about this Cancun, Mexico school trip. And they were like,
That's on spring break.
yeah, it's on spring break. And then they were like, we're going to have the Spanish teacher call you back because she told them the teacher's name.
Oh,
So
no.
just so happens, by coincidence, I was walking in the hall and the Spanish teacher was walking and she goes, Najwa. And I was like, yeah. And she goes, I heard the Spanish teachers are taking the kids to Mazatlán, Mexico. And I heard that and I was like, oh my God, my mom called. And I was like, oh, no, it's okay. Like, my mom misunderstood. So now I got to fix it. And she goes, are you going to take care of it? And I said, I'm going to take care of it. She's like, okay. Because you can't say it's a school trip. I was like, no. I was like, my mom misunderstood. Limited English. And she's like, okay. So I had this friend that had a deep voice in high school. This girlfriend of mine. A very good friend.
You didn't just, like, if it was me, I would have just gone home and be like, oh, no, I'm so sorry, I lied.
It was all Amber. It's Amber's fault.
So you're committed.
Yeah, so I got Amanda to call my mom
Okay.
and pretend she's a Spanish teacher
Okay.
Woo!
during
Dang.
school hours.
Dang.
Like a
or
school
school
number?
hours
Like how?
from the school with that, so it would show on the caller ID Richfield Public School.
Okay. Okay.
So she called up, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, listen, you get on the phone, you get off the phone as quickly as possible. She's gonna ask you a couple of questions, answer it like a teacher, like that's it.
Yeah.
Like, don't
It's
sit
easy to
here, tak tu tate. And she's like, okay.
Mm.
So, and it was like, obviously it wasn't a cordless phone, so we couldn't put it on speaker. So we were both like, you know,
Mm.
But Amanda knew the brief.
yeah, she knew the brief. So she knew everything that was happening.
Okay.
So she called my mom, and my mom was like asking her about the trip, and Amanda was answering. And she's like, yes, they will be chaperoned. Yes, boys and girls segregated. Like, you know, she knew what to say. And then my mom asks about documentation. I didn't think about this. So that means passport, whatever it is that we would need to travel. I didn't think about that. And Amanda doesn't know. She doesn't know anything about passports, documentation, what us foreign people need to get in and out of the States. So this is 1998. Back then, you just needed a birth certificate, by the way, to get into the States. You know that?
Okay. I didn't know that.
Whoa.
Yeah, you didn't need a passport. If you were born in the United States, you can show them your birth certificate.
Okay.
Okay, so nobody had passports.
But what about Mexico? Going to Mexico? No.
So going to Mexico, just to let you know, all my friends traveled with their birth certificate.
Oh.
Not one of them had a passport.
Okay.
Right.
But because I wasn't born in the United States, and at the time I wasn't even a U.S. citizen. So I had a Syrian passport, but I was a green card holder.
Okay.
So that's why my mom was calling the school, was because of the documentation she needed to know.
Okay.
Amanda doesn't know this. I didn't think about this. So Amanda tells my mom, don't worry about anything. She doesn't need anything. The school took care of everything. And I'm like, no, I'm not a U.S. citizen, Amanda. Amanda doesn't know this.
Okay, but like the teacher could also be oblivious, couldn't she?
I didn't think about that.
Okay.
So then I was like, I was too scared, like, for Amanda to call back and correct it. So I was like,
she could have, right?
she could have.
She could be like, actually, I just checked her file, and yeah, we would.
I didn't even think about that.
Come
I
on.
swear.
Investigate now. I need you to go to Cancun.
So anyways, and then my mom was okay with it. She was like, okay, cool. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know like what documentation I need to bring, but whatever. I didn't even think about this. I was 18. I didn't care. Trip comes up. I've got my bags packed. Me and Amber are headed to the airport.
And you're going like by plane?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we get on the plane because exiting the United States, there really wasn't any kind of immigration. Nothing back then.
Okay.
You just exited. Okay.
Okay.
I remember this like it was yesterday. Now landing in Mexico, because it's a foreign country, this is when they asked for documentation or something.
Oof.
So my group of friends, I think it was like 10 girls, there's 10 of us going. They all had their birth certificate and like ID. And I came up and I was like, I don't have ID, sir. And he's like, where's your passport? And I was like, And he's like, do you have a birth certificate? Nope. I had no ID. Nothing. I had nothing. I didn't even.
What's your thought process? Like, I'm just gonna show up and hope they let me in?
And I was like, please let me in. And my friends are on the sidelines saying, please let her in. I swear to God. Please, she can't go back home. She's going to get into trouble.
Like immigration officers.
They let me in. They let me into Mexico.
He was just like, come?
He was like, just go.
What? That is so unheard of.
Well, I promise you I'm not lying.
That's crazy.
Says the liar.
I swear to God, he let me in.
That's so crazy.
What a guy.
It was just my friends. Please, she's going to get into trouble. It was just all of us like, please, sir, please. I swear to God. True story. I couldn't even believe it. I walked through immigration.
Okay, once you walked through, did you not think to yourself, well,
Shit, how am I going to get back? Of course.
Yeah. Did you?
I was like, damn. Now what am I going to do? And then I was like, you know what? I'll think about it when I get to the border.
Let me just enjoy this holiday.
It's spring break, baby.
Spring break, had a blast. It was amazing. And then now it's time to go home. So now I'm on the plane panicking.
You mean on your way?
My way back to Minneapolis.
Okay, so they let you board a plane.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's what I was.
They let no. In Mexico, they let me board the plane.
No problem.
ID. They didn't ask for documentation.
Nothing. It was only back then. It was only when you hit that airport, when you land in that airport, is when they asked for documentation.
Wow,
Okay.
how the world has changed.
So seriously, right?
So like Mexicans could enter the States without anything?
Nope. So the Mexicans or any foreign basically were able to touch down in like an airport, but they weren't allowed in the United States without proper documentation.
So in the airport,
So in the
immigration would
airport.
Okay.
So I land in Minneapolis airport. All my friends are going through immigration.
Oh God.
They need something, right? They need ID, a birth certificate. So all my friends had their birth certificates and ID. Again, I don't have anything. So I just sat there and I was like, look, I traveled with my friends. I was just talking to the immigration officer. I traveled with my friends and I forgot my ID before I traveled. And I swear to God, I live here. And my address is 7544. And this is my number. And he just looked at me and he's like, you're traveling with this group? And I was like, yes. You don't have ID? No. Birth certificate? Nothing. Okay. Walked right through immigration.
What?
ID? Sure.
I just sat there like what do I do now? This is where I live.
Okay. Then just let you back in.
Wow.
I mean, all my friends again waiting for me. They're like, she lives here.
Yeah, line up, girls.
Yeah, she goes to school with us, sir.
Yeah. That definitely gives you credit.
And I walked right through. So literally, there's nothing. Like during that time, there was I came in and out of the United States and in and out of Mexico with no documentation.
That's
nothing.
crazy.
Zero.
And then you just like went home.
I just went home.
And then your mom was like, how was it?
My mom was like, how did you travel without a passport? She goes, أنا هلا فكرت فيها. كيف دخلوكي من غير passport? I was like, Mama, I was at the school.
Yeah.
Just like, غريب.
The school you put me in is a very good
It's
school.
great. It's like the best public school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was gonna say, what like have you traveled up until that age? Had you traveled internationally a lot?
No.
Like, so you
We had gone to Syria when I was 14,
okay?
and that was it. So I knew I needed a passport. I knew that I wasn't a United States citizen. I knew I had my little green card. Like I knew these things.
You knew like what it meant for them to stamp on.
I knew all of that.
Okay.
And I just winged it. I was like, what's the worst that can happen?
But I mean, you could have taken your passport and your green card and played it safe. Why didn't you take it?
Because I felt like if I was going to have the teacher call back and ask for the documents, I was going to get caught. Like I didn't want to risk getting caught.
Right. And then is your mom going to go to the school?
She's
going to
go to the school now. She's confused.
Yeah. Less info.
So I was like, you know what? What's the worst that can happen?
Deal with immigration officers rather than your mom.
My mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I literally, in my head, I was like thinking, what's the worst that could have happened? But now as an adult, yeah, it was bad. Like
that could have gone
that
wrong.
could have really gone wrong.
Yeah.
You know, foreign country, like, yeah. So I was like,
Yeah. Like imagine you land back in the States, they don't let you in, you get deported.
Yeah.
You're like stuck somewhere.
No phone, nothing.
No phone.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see how you were saying that you could have gotten into trouble.
Yeah, I could have gotten into a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. But at the time, honestly, like I had this, what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
But I think when you're younger, though,
It's easier.
you have this fearless type of mentality, you know? Now we like overthink everything.
True. And I'm sure like in your head, it was like, no one's as scary as my mom.
No.
You know, like, oh, immigration, got him.
Jail, it's fine. Yeah, but yeah. Crazy, huh?
I guess it requires a certain amount of rebellion to just be like, whatever.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
What's the other story about Costa Rica? Was it you mentioned?
Oh, God. You guys. Oh, this is bad.
Okay.
This is a bad one.
Okay, so the other ones were good?
Yeah, I want another piece of cake.
You know what? Actually, I feel like I need to do another show where I show like how truthful I am. Because
Just to balance this one out.
this is just awful. Like it paints me in the worst way, but boy, this is serious. Anyways, it's how I graduated high school.
Okay.
So I wasn't supposed to graduate high school. So in the American system, you have these credits. I can't remember, like I think you need like 42 credits or something like that.
Okay.
My senior year, I skipped class a lot. Because I was 18, I could excuse myself. So I could just call in and be like, Najwa's not coming in, or I'm not coming into class. There's nothing they can do about it because I was 18 years old.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're
And they
responsible
don't
for
call
yourself.
your parents?
Nope, I'm an adult.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay.
Okay?
And you have that power. It's dangerous.
Wow.
Very dangerous. And I had a car. So what's going to keep me at school? So I kept cutting class. So obviously when you skip class, you're going to fail.
Like participation's going to go down. You don't know anything.
So I'm failing.
Yeah.
And then the minute that I found out I was failing, like mid-year or maybe towards the end of the year, then I started like really like hustling. Like I've got to like do after school makeup classes and whatnot. And I was able to kind of get all the credits I need except for one credit. And this one credit was Spanish.
Oh, that Spanish class has caused a lot of trouble.
Spanish class. It wasn't the Spanish teacher that told me about that my mom had spoken to. It was a different Spanish teacher. It was this guy who was brand new. And I'd cut his class almost every day. Never went to class. But I would show up for the tests and I always did well.
So what's his
¿Tú hablas
problem?
español?
Sí.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but what was the teacher's problem then?
I was never there. It was my attendance.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, so attendance does count towards your grade.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I went and spoke to him. I forgot his name, but I went and spoke to him, and I was like, look, your credit is, this class is the only credit that I need to graduate. So I need to graduate high school and walk the line and do the ceremony, do that whole thing. And he goes, sorry, it's, poor attendance. You're not getting a credit this year. And he goes, that doesn't mean that you're not going to graduate. That means you have to do summer school to get the credit, and then you get your diploma. Now, my thing is that I needed to walk the line, the ceremony.
Yeah, because your mom's expecting
Because my
you
mom
to.
is. So I can't tell my mom, I'm not walking the line. So on the spot, I just sat there and I started crying. Crying. And there were real tears. So I was crying and I was upset, and he was like, come on, don't cry. And I was like, no, you don't understand. And he was like, what? I was like, I'm pregnant.
Oh, whoa, Najwa. Wow.
What? Because you said real tears. I felt for you, like you're feeling a lot of pressure, but you're feeling pressure. And
Yo,
then like,
she swept the carpet right under our feet.
yeah.
Wow.
Desperate times calls for desperate measures. So I was like, I'm pregnant, and my boyfriend won't marry me unless I graduate high school.
This is in Najwa's height of like professionalism.
This is like she's back from spring break. She's on a high, baby.
And he just looked at me and he was like, I'm sorry. And I was like, no, I come from a strict family. Like, I need to get married. You don't understand. And he's like, kind of mumbling, and he's going back and forth, and he's like, you know what? Fine, I'll give you the credit. So he gives me the credit. I walk the line. I go on with my life, right? I graduate high school. I run into him. Oh, God. At like the local tavern or whatever restaurant.
How many
in
months?
Ridgefield. Yeah, so let me tell you.
Oh, God.
So about 4 or 5 months later. By this time, I should be showing. And it's like he knew I was lying. Like, he knew, and he walks right up to me and he goes, hi. And I was like, hey. And he was like, far along are you now? Like 7, 8 months? Looked him dead straight in the eye. I was like, oh, I had a miscarriage. And I just turned around and walked away.
Yeah.
Dude.
I told you this is going to paint me to be very bad.
Dude. I mean,
Ah,
credit to you for
Yeah.
coming up with a smooth lie on the spot.
Yo, you did what you had to do.
jeez. I'm telling you, that year was like my worst year. I did nothing. That was the year I got caught smoking, and I was suspended for smoking, and I had to come up with a lie for that.
Yeah.
It was just awful. It was just lie after lie.
What was the lie for smoking? Like,
They put the cigarette in my mouth and they photoshopped my face on someone else's body, and then it wasn't me, it was Savannah. It's like all the
All the lies put
Combined.
together. So I told my mom I wasn't really suspended because I couldn't hide the smoking thing.
Yeah.
But I was in school suspension. For some reason, it mattered to my mom that I was out of school. So then I would just pretend that I was going to school, but then go to my sister's house and then go home at 3 p.m.
Okay.
And then she was like, I need your school counselor to call me and tell me that you're in school.
Oh, snap.
wow.
So then I convinced my school counselor to call my mom and lie. Whoa. You guys, it was out of control, actually.
You got counselors involved?
I did. And I just used my mom as the scariest person. Like, you don't know my mom. You have to lie. And she did.
Yo, you can write a book like The Life and Adventures
Jeez.
of Najwa.
But it was just that year. Like, it was like just that year that
Oh my
I
God,
felt.
I can only imagine the pressure that your mom was under, or what she was going through that year. You know?
And my sisters weren't like this. Like, my 2 sisters were not like this at all. Like, they did not do anything against my mother's will. Like, didn't even try, didn't even ask. They just kind of accepted it.
Okay.
Like, where I don't know why I didn't. I was like, no, I think I can get away with it.
Oh,
I think I'll just go to Mexico. Like, whatever.
Yeah, like I was just like, no, I can totally.
okay.
Yeah.
Maybe because you were like the youngest.
Maybe. And I just felt like but I got my ass kicked the most.
I mean,
Okay.
Well,
deservingly
so.
I'm not gonna be surprised.
Okay.
Just saying I got into trouble the most out of my sisters.
Right.
Like I was always like, yeah, it just seemed like I was always getting hit.
You know, I always think about it like that person who's breaking all the rules should always be the eldest, because they like swing open the doors for the younger siblings.
Yeah, no, that didn't happen with us. It was me.
The opposite.
Well, you know what? Maybe your siblings were like a little bit older when you guys moved to the States. Could you give them that? No?
Maybe. I mean, like between me and my sister Yasmin, it was like 3 years, and then me and Nasreen was 4 years, and then me and my brother was 10 years.
Mm-hmm. So maybe you were like the most Americanized one, you know? Or you were like the most one that...
Look, me and my
grew up in
sisters
the
are
States.
definitely Americanized. My brother is not, but like I still think back and I think like my sisters didn't. No way. They didn't even. It didn't even cross their mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was always me asking, like, I want to go to the football games. And my mom would be like, no. And then I would argue. Like, it's just a football game, you know? And then she's like, oh, fine. And then she'd let me go. But I
Yeah,
had
well,
to,
maybe your mom gave you a little bit more leeway than them also.
Maybe. But then, oh, my God, I took advantage.
Yeah. Then you'd like go to the football game, hop on a plane, call your mom from somewhere, get Amanda to pretend she was the teacher, let her know that you did have the miscarriage. I was like, oh God.
Oh, man. But I think by far, like, the worst lie that I feel not bad about, but that I just like, ugh, was that high school, like the pregnancy lie.
Oh,
Like
really?
that's the one that every time I think about, I'm just like,
But you got.
I graduate. I walked the line. I did. I walked.
I mean,
the line.
it's also kind of unfair to think that a teacher would, you know what I mean? Like a little more convincing, and he was willing to do it.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
as in,
true.
like,
yeah.
You know,
yeah, that's true.
There's no fairness in it.
No, there isn't. But I mean, I just sat there sobbing.
Yeah. As in, like, you had to do it because in reality, you could get away with it. So why not?
And plus, it's a valuable skill to be able to weasel your way through things.
Oh God.
Weaseling your way out of things. Yeah, just like the weasel.
Exactly. Oh man.
I feel like, I don't know. Out of all of those lies, I personally feel like the I'm Savannah. That one's the hardest
That
one.
one's my favorite, actually.
That one's the hardest one to pull off. Like the other ones, I could see you're feeling the immediate threat.
Yeah.
So you have to lie on the spot. Like you got to right now come up with a lie. But the I'm Savannah one, it's like this poor harmless guy who's just trying to say hi to you, and you're seeing like 10 steps into the future, you know?
Yeah.
And you're not just lying, you're embodying a new being.
You're making him question his reality.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and I didn't feel bad.
But you know what's nice about all your lies is that nobody at the end got hurt. Except for that guy, maybe a little bit.
You know what?
Their feelings were hurt.
God, I hope not. And I felt, you know what? I felt bad that 4 years later he mentioned it, and I still was like, nope, not me, sir. That was not me.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I wonder if he's a Hamburger Generation listener.
I wonder. Maybe I'm telling you, maybe we should send him the link and be like, hey, remember?
Hey, forward to minute 2:22.
Oh man. But you're right though. Like none of my lies hurt anyone.
Yeah.
Like I've never like hurt anyone or
Except
like
for like your unborn child.
except for exactly. Exactly. But yeah, like I didn't. Like I wasn't malice. I didn't hurt. I didn't
Yeah, you're not mean.
you know,
Yeah.
nothing. It was just me trying to have what I thought would be a normal high school life or
Wouldn't
normal.
it just get tiring though? Wouldn't it get tiring?
It was tiring.
You gotta earn
It
your
was-
social life.
It was very tiring though. Like keeping up with the lies. It was very exhausting. Very, That's why when you said, and no, did you miss that? I was like, absolutely not.
Right. Yeah.
Oh my God. I was so relieved when I didn't have to lie anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's the reason now why I'm so blunt and honest. Like,
Okay.
because I do not want to feel like that. Like, I hated that feeling.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Yeah. So now I'm honest, you guys.
She's honest.
She is on.
I don't lie.
Sorry.
That's it. No more stories. I overshare. Khalas.
Recording over?
Recording and communication.